back in the car, just taking a moment to breathe before getting back into the mode of doing things and on our mission, and just breathing in. I always find when confronted really by death, when handling a dead thing, it's really beautiful to bring in a sense of and a real feeling of appreciation for the fact that I am still breathing. We are still breathing. We are still able to walk. We can't fly, but we are still able to be here. We still have time to speak and to sing and to move and be and love. Yeah, sometimes I think people think dealing with dead things is kind of macabre or horrific, but it's not. For me anyway, it's quite life-affirming. But there is always that bit of, whew, that was a very real thing that we've just witnessed and handled and been party to. It's just gonna get realer. But yeah, just feel in this moment it's really important to take time to breathe and really feel these experiences, not just to rush on after as well. Yeah. So here we are in this beautiful pod, sheltering from the wind and the storm outside with our friend, beautiful tawny frogmouth. And when we stopped to get this guy, he was actually flapping, waving us down, and I generally take that as a sign that the wings are a gift. Part of the exchange of the, what do you call it, the roadkill trade. I do like to kind of perform a little bit of ceremony or just a releasing blessing, an act of gratitude before taking anything from a roadkill creature. And I feel like birds, such beautiful birds. They do have a soul trapped in there and be released with smoke back into the air, the elements. Sometimes I feel called to burn the whole body. Sometimes just release it back to the earth. Sometimes bury it. Not yet sure what I'll do with this one. We've had such a beautiful journey with this beautiful creature today. Such a magical, synchronistic, glorious day. But this is more of a how-to for people who aren't so aware of a bird's anatomy. Just want to say thank you. Thank you for your beauty and your offering. We will use these gifts, the highest intentions, to be good and celebrate you and all of nature's power. Yes. Sorry. Just put that one there. This bird is actually, you can't even see how or what impact, how it died, because it's just so imperfect condition. I keep thinking it's going to wake up and want to fly away, but it is definitely dead. Have checked. So with the wings, it's better to flip him over. And then you can also see his beautiful face. They're generally, birds of prey anyway, always seem to have two wing sections. There's like a hinge there, joint there, and sometimes just this bit wants to come, or quite often those bits get broken on impact. But these wings are just, look at that, so beautiful. I feel like, yeah, there's following it down, following the wing down too. You'll be able to feel skin, and that'll be feathered, and then there's another socket further down here. And so now if you're vegan or vegetarian, I feel like you're entirely entitled to look away. However, if you're a meat eater, and not that you're going to eat an owl, but if you're a meat eater and what I'm about to do disturbs you, you might want to look at how you live your life and the reality of your day-to-day consumption, because this is, again, not going to eat this, but yeah, if you can't face this beautiful creature, giving of its gifts. Well, it's giving its gifts, but I do own that I am also taking this. Receiving, yes, but this is definitely the bit that feels like taking. With respect. So what I do is I just get in there, holding both of the bones. You're feeling this so light and so fragile. And you just bend it back on itself. And you can feel when it's loose, and sometimes it even is loose. And just take a bit further up from where you kind of want it, because it'll all, once it's released, it'll all come down. And get down and find the skin in between all the glorious tiny feathers in there somewhere. And get a hopefully sharp enough knife. And just cut through the skin and run down to that joint that you've just popped. Gotta find it again down there. And you feel it when you hit bone. This is actually perfect for beautiful feathers for hiding the gruesome truth underneath. But fold it back. It's almost like cutting through rope at this stage, because there are so many tendons, so many things holding tension in this wing when this bird is flying. And through down to the bone on that side. You can see bones there, just. On the other side, cut away the skin. Gotta say, I didn't start this day thinking I was gonna end it with a how to dismember a tawny frogmouth, but you find it comes off the bone, a bit of ligaments, and then generally I would be doing this outside, in the place where I found it, under a tree whilst singing. It's kind of hard to sing instructions. Generally be crying a bit more too, but it's kind of the initial shock of finding one of nature's beautiful creatures struck down, has kind of worn off as we've travelled with it. And so there's the wing. And all I'll do from here is get just some sea salt and put it on. You can't even really see it, but there's the bone, and there's a little bit of flesh on it. And I'll just sprinkle this whole area with enough salt to suck up the moisture, probably into the wing, and then I'll do some recycling. Piece of cardboard, and lay it out, and you can either string it or pin it, and depending on how wide, that almost looks like a set of wings. It's so beautiful. Wow. For now we get pins, or if you've got wood, you can put nails in, and you simply have a nail driven into the wood and hook it on there and hook it on there, and then leave it in a sunny warm spot. And within a day or two it'll set like that. Wow, the wind releasing. And yeah, it's always good to do a clearing on these things, to always remember to only take what you feel is yours and to ask permission, and you'll feel within yourself if your intentions are good and you have purpose for these things. Sometimes you might find a perfectly perfect bird like this and it just wants to go back to nature, or you'll see and hear its mate crying and calling out, and maybe you're just there to move it off the road so its family can mourn. Yeah, this is definitely not what always happens, but today it was just so right and so part of the story we were living in our adventure and our journey that here we are. So, on this windy, blustery night in winter in Tasmania, that's how you do that one.